Hello, very good day everybody, and welcome to another video. We're back with another stream. I am your personal funky scene pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko, and I will be your captain for today's flight. And today, as you can see, it's a beautiful day. We're in the south of California. We're at the airport in San Luis Obispo. It is the San Luis Obispo County Regional Airport, and we will be flying towards a rock. It's a rather big rock. It's called, I'm not sure what it's called. It's located at Morro Bay. And from there we will carry on to the Salinas Municipal Airport, which is also in California, United States of America. I will show you the flight plan momentarily. Then you'll have some idea of what it is that we're going to do, and I'll see if I can find any information about the rock that we're flying to. I hope the sound is okay. It looks like it's clipping. I'll stand by 1 second. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Oh, I think this might be a little better. Let me do a little sound check here. Stand by, please. Okay, excuse me for that. It looks like the sound should be fine. It just looks a little weird on the OBS, but sure, we can live with that. I checked the sound earlier and it sounds fine. So the Morro Bay, California, basically there is this big rock. They call it the Morro Rock, actually, really. It is what they say is it's the town's most striking feature. It's Morro Rock. It is about 576 foot high. A volcanic plug is what they call it. And it stands at the entrance of the harbor there in Morro Bay. Originally it was surrounded by water, but the northern channel was filled in to make it into the harbor. It was filled in to make the harbor, basically. Anything else that I can find on that big rock? Not too much at the first glance. It is just a rock, lifeless, but nonetheless it could be nice to go and check it out. It's a place that I visited. My parents took me there when I was a young boy, and I just felt like, well, let's just fly there again and see what it looks like in the flight simulator. So we are here at the San Luis Obispo airport. We're using real world time and real world weather. We're flying the Coronado Piper PA44 with the whiskey for Papa 812 signed on the side of the aircraft, both sides. So let's just get in and get this thing started, and we'll fly some VORs. I was going to show you the flight plan. It is not too complicated. We'll just basically, here's where we are, the San Luis County Regional, and we will take off and then fly a heading of 266 degrees. Basically, it's an outbound radial, or we fly the inbound actually for the what was this one called, the Morro Bay VOR, and from there we will actually fly an outbound radial 309, excuse me, 311. For about 9 nautical miles, and then we should be seeing, it's a big rock, we cannot miss it. And then from there, hopefully, we will receive the next VOR, which is about 61 nautical miles down the coast to the north, which is the Big Sur VOR. And then from there we go almost straight north to our last VOR that's sitting at the airport, where we will be touching down the Salinas. So that's basically in a nutshell. It's not very much to it. So let's just hop in. Maybe we can find out what is the weather. Wind is 310 at 5 knots. So it looks like our runway would be this one, this direction. So that being said, let's now start up the aircraft and get going. We did a stream earlier today, and unfortunately the Microsoft Flight Simulator decided to lock up. It froze up on us, so causing the stream to just well, show nothing but sound in an inanimate cockpit, which is pretty far from desirable. So we had to end it, and so here we are, second try. This will be a different flight though. It will not be as long, but hopefully it will nonetheless be interesting. So we should have everything started up now. So ready for startup of the engines. Engine number 1, and there comes the engine number 2. So we got 2 running engines. It's a good situation to be in. Let's turn up all the lights. And let's also dial in the first VOR. Well, actually, let's have a look. Yes, we will dial in the first VOR, which will be 112.4. So the 112.4, I believe we could dial it in here as well. 112.4. Yes, and the change is here, and the VLOG. Oh, this is 111.4. 112.4. There we go. So we put that in. 112.4. It is 5.7 nautical miles, and then after that we will need to put in the second one. And let us do that. Let us put this in a box somewhere for the secondary. See which one is that. It will be this one over here. Big Sur, that is 114.0. So 114.0, we put that in as well. For now, I will just put it in here, just to make a little note, if you will. And then later on, we could swap them. Stand by. One 4.0, so that is now in the standby frequency. So that's good. We got this put in. We can maybe put this in the nav2. I believe this one is linked to the nav2, but I confuse myself sometimes. Okay, so we got this in. The autopilot is going to follow the VLOG, so that is good as well. So I think we're good to go. So let's have a look at the airport diagram. Maybe we can just use the VFR map from Microsoft Flight Simulator. So let's use big runway. Can we see the 29er? Basically we are sitting, is this us? I would hope so, the big one. Yes, I put us here. So basically we just keep on driving. There's a runway to our right, but we cross the runway that we're going to use, unless we are, let's see how we will do this. Let's just cross it, let's just do it properly. Okay, so we got some general idea there. We're good to go. I do want to set the QNH real quick. Have one more look outside. Set the flaps as well. And let's get to taxiing. So we cross the runway 29er over here. So this is the San Luis Obispo airport, everybody. Let's have a look outside at the San Luis Obispo here in California. So let's take the next one. Well, let's try and stay on the center line. Oh, we missed the next one there. So it looks like we're going all the way to the far end of the runway, which obviously is perfectly fine. So we are currently holding short at the runway. We are not lined up yet. We are currently awaiting clearance to line up, and the clearance will be given by myself. And I have not yet given myself any clearance to line up just yet. And obviously, you know, there is there is the pre-takeoff rolling tobacco cigarette process involved. So that happens to coincide with us waiting official clearance to line up on the runway. Usually that shouldn't take too long, like around 59 seconds or so. On the other hand, I have never really timed it, so there's no real data. Alright, so here we are then. Let's line up. There's no traffic coming, and it looks like there's no traffic in sight whatsoever. So let's just line ourselves up and get this sucker up and flying, shall we? Let me do one final check here. So the nav is armed. So we take off runway 29er. Let me see the chart for a second, so we know what to expect. No unpleasant surprises. Also no pleasant surprises, but who wants to prevent those? So runway 29er. We take off, and then the aircraft take a left turn, and it will follow a 266-ish inbound course to the Morro Bay VOR, and from there we will fly a heading 311. So maybe the best we could do now is put in the heading 311. So when we go overhead, we go for a bit, and we'll fly into heading mode. So the heading bug goes to 311. So that is 310 plus 1 should be 311 for the heading mode. So this is in the navigation. Let us choose 800 feet climb. Okay. Parking brake is released, and let's get going now. Okay, so we got the positive rate, so the gear can come up. And let's engage the autopilot and see how this is going to work for us. The flaps can go up as well. Now the autopilot should, let's see, nav 1. Let's align the line there for the heading, and you see the aircraft starts turning immediately. So that was something I could have done on the ground actually. Okay, so we are then taking off, and we might need a little bit of a higher climbing rate. So we're going for 1100 or maybe 1200 feet per minute. So there goes San Luis Obispo. Bye bye San Luis Obispo. Bye bye. Okay. It's a nice and hilly area. I like it. Now the Morro Bay you will obviously find at the coast. And we are not too far from it at all. We're 1.6 nautical miles from our VOR. Let's get some panel lighting going here and some instrument lighting. I like how that button is a little asymmetrical. That's pretty cool. Okay, so what altitude? 3,000 feet. So it looks like we are overhead of the VOR. Yes, and we cross it right now. So we now go and fly heading. And what we will also do, now that we are flying heading, we no longer need the 112.4, but we will now fly to the 114.0. So we swap these two around. You can see the second VOR, it's not yet picking up, there's no DME yet. Let's fly to the Morro Bay, and I think actually it is there already. You can see it from the external. There is the Morro rock. So let's hold the altitude here. So there it is, Morro rock. Looks like we're picking up quite some wind here. So it's nice to see this from the sky. It's an interesting place for sure. It's not very big, it's a very small town. I remember we stayed in a hotel. I'm not really sure where in my memory, but it was a child's memory. Sometimes it can be, you know, become a little bit corrupted, but in my memory we could see it from the hotel. But as I said, a lot can happen to the memory. Memory basically gets overwritten with memories of your memory, actually. So that's quite an interesting concept. So that's the Morro rock. It is a rocking. So why don't we rock when we fly over the rock? of in-flight entertainment, because now we will have to fly towards the second VOR. That is the wrong button. It is not picking up yet, so what I will do is check the heading real quick. Should be heading 309er. So which is basically what we're already flying. We're doing 311. So now we're flying heading 309er. Let's have a look outside and see the other side of the rock. The small town of Morro Bay. It is interestingly shaped, it looks cool. And they call these things, let me check, so they said it's a volcanic plug. They're also called the Volcanic Neck or Lava Neck. It's a volcanic object created when magma hardens out within a vent on an active volcano. When present, the plug can cause an extreme buildup of high gas pressure if rising volatile charged magma is trapped beneath it. Okay, so that's what the Wikipedia page is telling us with regards to volcanic plug. And this Morro rock is one in a series of similar plugs that stretch in a line inland called the Nine Sisters. And it is possible that the landscape moved over volcanic hotspot through the ages. The Nine Sisters, they are also called the Morros. They are a chain of 9 volcanic mountains and hills in the western San Luis Obispo County. They run between Morro Bay and San Luis Obispo. So we should have come across a couple then. Interestingly enough, we saw one when we were at the airport. So I would assume it's these. These are all these plugs there that you can see. So that's quite cool. And for the rest of the flight, we're basically flying towards our destination. We're in cruise, so let's just get a little bit easy on the throttle. Oh, it's doing this again. Oh, stand by. This is scary. It sounds like a nice, relaxed buzzing. You know, just going brrr. I like this. Speed is dropping somewhat, really, which obviously was the intention, but let's keep an eye on it. Maybe we can get a little more speed in. And there is still no VOR picking up yet. 114.0. We can check if it's there as well. Yes, it is. So we're simply out of range, which is no problem at all. Some of these have a range of 75 nautical miles, some have 50, some have 25. So we'll just see it. Now that we did cross the Morro rock, we could continue our rocking. actually crashing. Or maybe it was my guitar. It sometimes makes funny sounds too. So the sun is about to set. Not quite yet. Has a little bit to go, as you can see, but it's definitely lower in the sky. But this will not be too long of a flight, so I do not think. Yeah, it might be getting dark by the time we land. So what's up ahead? It looks like there is definitely some elevation. We are receiving a VOR yet? No VOR signal yet. So we just keep on following the coastline here with our heading mode. So let's have a look real quick and see if we can expect some more elevation, and see if actually that might be causing potential problems. This will be 2933, 359 or 4. So this could become a problem. I believe 3760 and 4000. 41. So maybe it's not a bad idea to check our altitude, which, well, it should actually be fine. Maybe we can go a little bit higher, but before we do that, let's put in a little more thrust there. And we climb at 700 feet per minute. Looks like there is a little airport there. Oh, not this button. What is this? Navlog. Not interested. There is a little airstrip there. And there should be two. That's correct. There's Orancho, San Simeon. How does this work? The Hearst and Simeon airstrip. Well, there you go. Looks like there is a castle. If we are actually perfectly on the line, then should be flying over a castle real shortly. Let's have another look out the window. So here's the airport or the airstrip. The castle should be there, I believe, if I saw this correctly on the charts. More or less. Somewhat to the right. And then again, you know, it's always a question, how is it going to be looking, you know, from inside the flight simulator. Because obviously not all these structures on the ground will be handcrafted, because that will be like an insanely idiotic task. We can only, you know, hope for something like that. That would be a place for a castle, if you ask me. I'm actually using the external view to check the ground. I'm just going to think that this is the gas. It does not really look like one. We could maybe scoot over here. And I believe the view is still being obstructed by the wing. No, it should not. It should actually, we should be lower. Okay, sure, that happened. Okay, so our altitude now 7,200, 300 feet. So let's maintain this altitude. There's the VOR, 35.2 nautical miles. So we line it up. You can see the yellow arrow is pointing to the VOR, and we're actually still pretty well on the course. That's cool. So it looks like the wind has not caused us too many problems with the drifting. Now, sometimes when I use, I have this one button that I use. For some reason it binds these two together. I still haven't really looked into it. But sometimes when I use it, it goes back non-symmetrical. This part seems to work symmetrical, which is good. Turning off the fuel pumps there, and this one is 114.0. So let's put in the next VOR, just to be well prepared, I would say. Still got about 33 nautical miles or so to go, I believe. So we had the castle. We're on our way to Big Sur, and from Big Sur we go up to our final destination, Salinas, and if you are there, it is 117.3. So 117.3. We dial that in right there. And here we'll put it in as well, 117.3. And now we got 30.1 nautical miles to go. We're at a safe altitude from the elevation below, so that's good. Let's turn off the landing lights. I always forget with this little thingy. There you go. So the beach and the sunshine, man, it looks very appealing. So mountainous area, it is not a place where you want to get into engine trouble. You do not want to be in a situation here where you have to perform an emergency landing, because that's not going to be very nice, is it? We got plenty of fuel though,
so nothing to worry about. We are following navigation and we are holding altitude. So I would say all looks fine. Speed's fine. We're not speeding at all. Just checking for the Piper PA44 Seminole, cruise speed 157 knots. We are well below that. Basically it's the end of the white bar there. What is the temperature outside? Can we maneuver ourselves in a way that we can read that little gauge that's placed on the window? So what's it? It's about I would say about 10 or 5 or 7 degrees Celsius. Not sure if I'm using this correctly. Let's see if we can zoom in a little more so that you can see what I'm trying to do. Temperature in Celsius plus 30, 0, minus 30. Not really sure if I'm using this correctly. Basically, as you can see, when you turn this button, there is a disc on both sides. It will display on the one hand it will display the speed, and the other hand it will display the temperature. And I believe that let's say the temperature is 10 degrees, but I'm not really sure where to put it. I would assume the middle, 0 there, so it's like you could say 0 and then plus 10, so it's 10 degrees maybe. If that were the case, our speed is indicating now 110 knots, but it would actually be 130. So if we want to be cruising at 157, then we should aim for around 138 knots indicated airspeed. I believe it, or at least airspeed here in the speedometer. So let's just see if we can get that going. We might need some more prop for that as well. Okay, so full prop now. I wonder if it's actually even, it doesn't look like it's even capable of reaching it. Unless, and this is where we can get ourselves into trouble, because I have separate buttons for this one, which is the mouse. I'm afraid to use it asymmetrically, but let's just leave a little. Sometimes this would cause the RPM to drop, to go up significantly. In this case it doesn't appear to make any kind of difference, so let's just leave it as it is. we were definitely gaining some speed. But we're at our maximum operating RPMs and speed and everything. Everything's just full blasting. So we are 16 nautical miles range from the next VOR. And then once we reach that, it's 29 nautical miles to our destination. So let us for now enjoy the outside view a little bit while I step away from the flight deck. And but not before I get distracted by a little island there on the coast that I want to check on the chart. So we should be halfway. So there should be some really tiny little small island here. But all what my brain sees is lines. So that's enough for me. Go to quickly fetch a drink, and I will be back within 2 shakes of the lamp's tail. Okay, so it looks like we are still flying. That's always good news. Okay, so we're now 6.7 nautical miles from the next VOR. We should be getting ready to switch over. There's the Ventana Wilderness area. There's the Tasahara Hot Springs. Here is Woz.
That looks good. 348 degrees up. There's a golf course there, but we're not going there. There was a peak, 473 feet. So let's check the weather for Salinas, 130 at 5 knots. This is like opposite than what we used at takeoff. That's okay. 130 at 5 knots, so we should be taking this runway here. So we fly overhead and then do a turnaround. We're almost overhead. You could maybe even see the VOR station. Probably that one. .6 and it's going up 0.7, 0.5 even. Ooh, we're getting so close. 0.6, there you go. Okay, so we switch now. 117.3 and we line it up. The aircraft does not appear to be turning yet. It did earlier, I believe. We'll simply press nav again. There you go, and we turn. Sure. So what is our current speed? It says here 130 or 150, so both cases will be fine. So range 27 nautical miles from the destination airport for today's flight. So I got runway 13, which is 131 degrees, and that is perfect for us. There's the VOR that we're flying to. And here's the general aviation parking. So we will touch down and either get off here or get on the taxiway here and go onto the Alpha. And then we park here. What does VOR runway 13 tell us? No, we will not be using this.
I would like to check, however, airport elevation 84 feet, and so the touch-on zone is also 84 feet. So what is the sun doing? Oh, it is still fairly high. So for me it's a cause for a little bit of good old country music. We took off from San Luis Obispo. We took off from San Luis Obispo. You saw us on the runway, and you saw us go. Yes, that's again some in-flight entertainment by the pilot for the pilot. The range 13 nautical miles. The airfield should be coming into view shortly. We have to get over this hump here before we can start thinking about descending, if you ask me. But maybe it's too late, I already thought about it. Could that be a runway? So what we could do first is we decrease the speed a little bit, because we are now flying at top speed, and since we are going to descend anyway, We do not want to be descending at top speed. Okay, so we're reducing the speed for now. You can see the speed is dropping, sure. Range 8.6 nautical miles. Looks like, yes, that is the airfield right there. So let us go and descend a little bit. Vertical speed, and we go -6, so 600 feet per minute. So the runway is 133, was it? 122 degrees and 302. So we put the heading back to 302, so we can fly away from the runway, if you will. Okay, so what do we have? There's the airfield, there's a little town there, there's some mountains, there's the ocean. So maybe we start flying opposite of the runway now. So we're going to a heading, and the aircraft should now start turning to the left. And it is now flying the opposite the runway heading. We were 4.2 nautical miles from the airfield. There's a runway there too. Let's quickly check the chart. Oh, that's correct. It is. Oh, that's next to the golf course there. Sure. Okay. So we will be flying our own little pattern just so that we can descend a little bit. Let's expedite the descent somewhat more. So let's go 1,000 feet per minute descent. We are now at 6,000 feet. We're using this button here to see where the VOR is. It should be on our 4 o'clock. That seems to be correct. So we keep on descending a little further. Our altitude now 4,000 feet on the mark, which is mark. There you go. Could obviously set the local QRH. Which I will do now. It appears to make no difference. So what we'll do, let's have a look. So the airport is now almost straight behind us. So we could maybe just put it on nav, and the aircraft is now going to turn towards the airfield, just to help us out a little bit. We are reaching 3,000 feet. The range is 6 nautical miles. We'll reduce the speed a little more. And I will drop the gear. I believe the blue thingies should be all the way up for landing. So here's what we'll do. For now, this is the only way I can do it. Like this. Okay, so here we are. Now we go see if we have a visual. Should be going left, so let's disengage the autopilot and we fly ourselves. Do flap 1. And this is going to be our runway, so like this. Okay. So let's watch the altitude a little bit, or rather our descent rate. We can keep on going for a little bit. Where are the bunny lights? Let's do somewhat of a wide turn. Let's try and maintain the same altitude for now. Flap 2. And the flap 3. So we are full flaps now. A little more speed. And trim it to stabilize the approach and see if we can line it up nice and smooth. I want a little more speed, not too much. We overshot the center line a little bit. The range is still 2.3 nautical miles. Reducing speed a little bit. What I'm doing now, I'm not sure if this is the way to do it, but I'm using the trim wheel to just try and follow the glide path. In my case, an imaginary flight path that I'm just eyeballing, but reducing speed a little more now. And one final trim adjustment. Reducing speed even more, runway 13. Oh, that's a little harsh, but I had to take my eyes off the screen there for a second. And let's see if we can set her down really easily. It looks like a battery landing, but not really sure. What is this button doing? Wow. Okay, so we're landed. That's always good. We arrive alive. So, welcome to Salinas Municipal Airport, everybody. Now let's see if we can get taxiing. So how are we going to do this? Okay, we're just gonna keep on going. Let's not block the runway anymore. Hey, there's Venus de Milo. You arrived exactly as a touchdown. Hey man, welcome. So how was the touchdown? Well, let's get off the runway real quickly here. So, whiskey for a papa, runway vacated. And let's pull over here for a second and have a look at where exactly it is that we are on the airfield. So 13, okay, so we're on Alpha. We cross the runway 26, continue on Alpha, and then we reach the apron way to go to the general aviation parking. So basically continue on Alpha, cross the runway, continue on Alpha. Alright? Frame rate looked a bit better than usual. Frame rate. You mean like feet per minute? Well, I did try and set it down. There you go. Touchdown rate. You come in here and you confuse me. No, it felt good, but you know, I will have to rewind it myself. So let's quickly cross runway 26 and assume that there's no traffic. Yes, it's a feet per minute. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I had to make sure. Okay, so we continue on Alpha. Do not believe we go left here just yet. Obviously, it's not a very big airfield, but still, you do not want to park near the toilets, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we take a left. Well, not yet. Well, this will be our turn. So we take a left here. We'll find the general aviation parking. Yeah, so today we did a flight to Morro Bay. There is a Morro rock. It is something. It's a place that I visited when my parents took me to the United States of America when I was a young boy. And basically it's a big rock. It looks like a giant nipple. So let's go park here in the shadow. Oh, see, maybe we can get some fuel in as well. Okay, so we'll stop. See, there is the fuel pop-up. We'll stop. Parking brake is set, so the mixture can go too low. So the alternators for both engines, the left and right, will turn off. Magnetos, the alternators, and the battery instruments. Actually, I completely forgot to turn off the lights, but we'll just reset these buttons anyway, like this. And here we are. You could not see it anymore, but oh, I would believe it would buffer everything. Really? That is interesting. Oh, where's the button? There you go. So, let's disembark from the aircraft. Look, we got our own call sign, Whiskey for Papa 812. There's the airport beacon. Always nice, especially when it's dark and when there is no visibility. So we made it. To me it looked like the landing was fine, but I will see it when I rewind it myself. So welcome to the Salinas Municipal Airport once again. And then now my friend will come pick me up, and this game will suddenly change into GTA, and there is this pimped up car coming, and there's this pimped up chick coming out, and we get into the car and we drive off. That would be pretty cool. Yes, definitely, I have been to California a couple of times, but the first time that I went there, we went to Morro Bay and San Luis Obispo. That was where we took off the flight. So yeah, we arrived. I was in the middle of rolling another rolling tobacco cigarette. It was my pre-landing cigarette, but it appeared that the landing caught up on us, and there was no way for me to finish it. So I just finished it now while winding down. So the aircraft it looks fine. Does not look like I damaged it in any way. So it's fine. So thank you for checking, everybody. We'll be back with another flight shortly. And Venus, you are the special guest. You're right back. You're making a sandwich. Well, this stream will end, but I will probably catch up with you later. And you know, I might have to contact my mother, but you know, usually we do catch up. So you enjoy your sandwich. Thank you for checking. It was nice that you could see the final bit of the landing, or the final bit of the flight, which was the landing. And next time, if there are any ideas, let me know, and we can see if we can do it. My brother Anatoly, he also had some interesting ideas for me to fly. Looked like a very short flight with an Airbus. So I'll look into that later. but there's plenty of interesting things. I was also looking at, I forgot what were they called again, these islands that are sitting to the west of the Ecuador, on the equator. I've forgotten the name, but it looks like an interesting area as well. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, and hopefully see you guys next time, and looking forward to it. I am your personal Volcanic Neck pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.